Hi, it's Raghu and Ramdas, and this is Ramdas Here and Now podcast, and it's our first of the year, 2017. And thanks for joining us live, so to speak, here. It will be taped and sent out, but live with me right now. And to say a little bit about what's uh, what's on your mind for this new year. Of course, we all have quite a bit on our minds as we are about to go into this new year and a new president. And of course, I on a couple of different podcasts that I've done recently, we've talked about how we got together in Maui and had that wonderful retreat. And certainly, this topic came up of what everybody's going through, anticipating this new administration and the things that are going to happen. But before anything, I just want you to say hi to everybody.
Hi there,
Give us a happy
everybody.
give us a happy new year. Happy new year to you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy new year. So one one interesting thing, I just because I just read about this in the paper. I read that Governor Jerry Brown and the government in California hired Eric Holder, who used to be the Attorney General for Obama, and hired him to um, basically defend the initiatives that California has begun and wants to continue around environmental issues and immigration. And I thought, God, that's a leading light in somewhat of a dark view around these two, certainly these issues, if not many, many, many issues that the new Trump administration is going to bring in. And then next thing I hear, you had a hangout with Governor Brown just the other day.
Yeah.
He came to visit you. Can you just tell us a little bit of that? You know, that's a wonderful circumstance. That's certainly.
Well, he and his wife came to visit, and we talked about love, and we talked about Buddhism, and we talked about the initiatives that California is protecting, protecting. And
Environmentally.
yeah, we talked about environmental issues.
Hmm.
And but we didn't talk about politics.
No,
No, I
he didn't
think
say a word about it.
no,
Wow.
no, no. I figured he came to here. I came to as an old friend, and he's got enough of politics.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
And I didn't want my curiosity be the leader of the discussion.
Yeah, right. I get you. I get you. And you've known him for quite some time, right? Since the 70s?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I imagine he
yeah.
really
He,
was coming.
yeah. Uh, I when I was in California, we hung out with the same people. So And he took me to meet with the Black Panthers,
Oh,
the
yeah.
head of the Black Panthers
Huey Newton?
in in Oakland. Yeah,
Huey, yeah. I remember that.
yeah,
Mm. So anyhow, that was kind of serendipitous because we have been hearing how Jerry Brown is really not going to kowtow to the federal government and the way
yeah,
that Trump wants to eviscerate the environmental agreements in Paris, etc., and immigration and the wall, all that kind of stuff. That he is not going to stand for it, and he really, by hiring Eric Holder, made a statement that they are going to defend what they're doing. So that was just kind of a cool thing that as this is happening, he took a little vacation and decided to visit you. I thought that was great. Um, so obviously there is, I in between the words that I'm saying right now, there's the implication of the fear and the anger that are so evident in this country from those progressive people who really do believe that the scuttling of this environmental these agreements and the kinds of things that Trump is wanting to bring to the table are scary prospects. And in I did a podcast actually with Sharon and Salzberg and Danny Goldberg last week or a week ago, and I had watched this Noam Chomsky. I believe you know who he is.
yep,
Yeah, philosopher. And he said the real issue here is what the next generations are looking at if all of these things come into effect and there isn't the tide is not turned around the environmental issues that I mean he can be very dramatic. He said we haven't seen this kind of cataclysmic event in 200,000 years, that what we are looking at. It's like I mentioned this in the podcast, and Danny said, well, as much as I love Noam Chomsky, I do think he can go a little bit overboard, and he talked about recognizing the big picture, the historical fact that we have gone through very, very dark times, and there always has been a light that we have followed that has, and nothing is permanent, etc., etc., and we need to have that long view, not just the short view. What do you?
yeah.
Yeah, what's your feedback on that?
Well, I'm for getting out the long view,
The long, long view. Yeah,
long view,
yeah.
and and every time things like this, Maharaji, he'd say, "It's perfect. It's perfect." Now I know that many of your listeners would be uh, feeling repulsed, that word,
Apoplectic.
and
Yeah, apoplectic is
yeah,
what they say.
and I think it's feeling your feet. If each of us find our our well, there's two things. There's being and there's doing. The doing is is social action. And we all have to keep our being. We've got to keep our quietness inside. We've got to keep our love. We've got to keep compassion. We've got to keep our wisdom. Um, during this time, and and on the action side, we all know what we can do to alleviate the effects from uh, Donald. And I think that I've learned that social action and spiritual quietness